translation. It's going to be a good practice. I spoke with him about English. He has to listening. He has to listen. It's very important.
Okay.
Because in the translation also, it's past, past. It's directly the one last.
Okay. Okay. Jaya Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Chanda Ballabha Girivaradhari Gopi Chanda Ballabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vandachari Yamuna Tira Vandachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Chanda Ballabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vandachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, we are reading today from Srimad-bhagavatam, 9th Canto, 19th chapter, text 15. The chapter is called King Yayati Achieves Liberation. So chant the Sanskrit. Yadana kurute bhavam sarva bhuteshva mangalam samadrishteshtatha tada pumsa sarva sukha maya dishaha yadana kurute bhavam sarva bhuteshva mangalam samadrishteshtatha pumsa sarva sukha maya dishaha yadana kurute bhavam sarva bhuteshva mangalam samadrishteshtada pumsa sarva sukha maya dishaha yadana kurute bhavam sarva bhuteshva mangalam samadrishteshtada pumsa sarva sukha maya dishaha yadana kurute bhavam sarva bhuteshva mangalam samadrishteshtada pumsa sarva sukha maya dishaha yadana kurute bhavam sarva bhuteshva mangalam samadrishteshtada pumsa sarva sukha maya dishaha yadana kurute bhavam sarva bhuteshva mangalam samadrishteshtada pumsa sarva sukha maya dishaha yadana kurute bhavam sarva bhuteshva mangalam samadrishteshtada pumsa sarva sukha maya dishaha yadana kurute bhavam sarva bhuteshva mangalam samadrishteshtada pumsa sarva sukha maya dishaha. Word for word synonyms. Yada, when, na, not, kurute, does, bhavam, a different attitude of attachment or envy. Sarva bhuteshu, to all living entities. Amangalam, inauspicious. Samadrishte, because of being equipoised. Tada, at that time, Pumsaha, of the person. Sarvaha, all. Sukhamayaha, in a happy condition. Dishaha, directions. When a man is non-envious and does not desire ill fortune for anyone, he is equipoised. For such a person, all directions appear happy. Oh, okay, there's no translation, so we used to go back to everyone repeating it. So, together. When a man is non-envious, everyone can say it together now. When a man is non-envious and does not desire ill fortune for anyone, he is equipoised. For such a person, all directions appear happy. So, Srila Prabhupada's purport. Prabodhananda Saraswati said, Vishvang Purna Sukhayate. When one becomes Krishna conscious by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, for him the entire world appears happy, and he has nothing for which to hanker. Desiring, yes. On the Brahma Bhuta stage, or the platform of spiritual realization, there is no lamentation and no material hankering. The Sochati Nakamshati. As long as one lives in the material world, actions and reactions will continue. But when one is unaffected by such material actions and reactions, he is to be considered free from the danger of being victimized by material desires. The symptoms of those who are satiated with lusty desires are described in this verse. As explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, when one is not envious, even of his enemy, explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, when one is not envious even of his enemy, does not expect honor from anyone, but instead desires all well-being even for his enemy, he is understood to be a Paramahamsa, one who has fully subdued the lusty desires for sense gratification. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Subhakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here different different kinds of consciousness, depending on the our degree of spiritual advancement. So for the one who has high level of spiritual realization, they will see they see everything is happy for them. The Paramahamsa, the topmost level of a pure devotee, he considers everything to be, because he sees everything in relationship to Lord Krishna. He sees everything in relationship to Lord Krishna. So even if there is some difficult situation, he will consider this is Lord Krishna's desire. This is Lord Krishna's mercy. if a pure devotee becomes sick, he does not consider this to be a bad thing. He says, this is Lord Krishna has put me in this situation, and this will please him. There's a mention in the Nectar Devotion, upcoming chapter, I think. This mentions that this would have been when Krishna appears in the material world, and one of his cowherd friends was out. They're out in the field, herding the cows. So one of his friends, Krishna, went in some flowers or some flower garland, and so the friend went out. It was in the middle of the day. It was high noon, very hot. Even today in the summer in Vrindavan, it's very warm. So his friend was going out and picking flowers, and it was, materially it was very hot, and it was you say it's difficult. But because he was doing this for Krishna, then he was very happy. Yeah, he felt hot, but he was thinking, I'm accepting this difficulty for pleasing Krishna, and that is my happiness. So this is the mood of a pure devotee. His happiness and his distress are all based on, is Krishna happy with me, or is Krishna not happy with me? Of course, Krishna is always happy with the pure devotee, but he's the pure devotee like that is always thinking in that way. Is Krishna happy with me? Whatever pleases, and it says that whatever so that which might be otherwise pleasing, if it's not pleasing to Krishna, something makes it pleasing to us. But if it's not pleasing to Lord Krishna, then an advanced devotee doesn't like it very much. A devotee might like some kind of prasadam or some kind of anything that's not very pleasing in life. He may like that, but if for some reason Krishna didn't want that, then he thinks, oh, because Krishna doesn't want it, I'm not happy with this because Krishna doesn't want it. And for the same way, in a pure devotee, if he's seeing or understanding that Krishna wants something, even if it's would otherwise be an unpleasant situation for him, because Krishna wants it, he's very happy in that situation. Just like when the pure devotees of Srila Prabhupada, they come to the material world to preach, to carry out the Lord's mission. There are, because we take on a material body instead of having a spiritual body, have a material body, and of course the material body is subject to so many complications in life. But the pure devotee, it doesn't bother him. He's actually in Nectar Devotion, it says that where the Lord Shiva says this in the chapter on pure love of Krishna, Krishna Prema, and he's saying that for the pure devotees, they do not care for. They do not feel happy. They do not feel material happiness or distress. They do not care. Their only interest is what is pleasing to Krishna. Just like we have in Srimad-bhagavatam, there's the history of what was his name? He came as a demon, and he was supposed to be the result of he fought with Lord Indra. What was his name? Huh? No. It was a big demon. He had been cursed. He was a big demon. Ultimately, Lord Indra, ultimately this demon told Lord Indra how to kill him. Vritrasura. Yeah, Vritrasura. That's right. So Vritrasura. So he, but he was actually a devotee, but because of the curse, he took birth he had a demon body, and nobody could defeat him. Lord Indra could not defeat him. Couldn't figure out how, even with his thunderbolts, he couldn't do anything. He was a powerful demon. But ultimately, this particular demon, because he was actually not really a demon at heart. He was a devotee, but he had to take this form because of the curse. So when Lord Indra couldn't kill him, he advised Lord Indra, okay, here's how you can kill me. He had to cut off his head or something. But he told Lord Indra, I'm ready. You kill me, and here's how you can kill me. Because Lord Indra couldn't figure it out. So, and this particular demon and devotee in the body of a demon, that was actually very good for him, because that meant he would finish up his life in the material world, and would go back to Godhead, because he was actually a devotee, even though he had to take that body of a demon. So, I mean, I can't imagine taking it. I can't imagine being in that situation. All of a sudden, you're a devotee, and all of a sudden you have to take on a very horrible demoniac form, but and at the same time you're internally completely transcendental to that. It's hard. But the process of devotional service, anyway, that we are practicing, we will come to that platform of the Brahmabhuta platform. I mean, basically, we should be at least acting on the Brahmabhuta platform even now, but for the consciousness to be completely purified and be completely on the Brahmabhuta platform is what we're talking about here. So, when one comes on the Brahmabhuta platform, he's not envious of anyone, even if somebody is his enemy or considers themselves to be his enemy. He's not envious. Maharaj Yudhisthira was not envious of anyone. There were others who were envious of him, but he did not consider himself envious of them. And envy usually means that the result of envy is that I'm going to cause you some kind of problem. I'm going to make you. I'm going to hurt you in some way. I'm going to make you suffer because I don't like you. But actually, the pure devotees are not thinking in that way. They're actually non-envious of any living entity. We in our practice of Krishna consciousness, sometimes there are conflicts between devotees, right? Sometimes there are conflicts between devotees, and we think that this devotee is. We may actually feel a little bit envious. In fact, Srila Prabhupada, I wrote a letter I had written to Srila Prabhupada about something related to that, and he answered and he replied. And I was telling Srila Prabhupada, I'm thinking I'm envious of the devotees because I was feeling This is back in Gainesville when I first joined the movement, and we were you know, everything was book distribution, book distribution, and Hridayananda Maharaj, Hridayananda Das Adhikari, at that time, he was the temple president, so he knew that Srila Prabhupada, you want to please him, you got to sell books. So basically, the program there, there was no deities other than the picture of Panchatattva. So basically the program was Harinam and book distribution. Half the devotees would be Harinam, the other half book distribution, and then switch like that. That's how we were doing it then. And but I wasn't very good at book distribution. And then when we were told that we were every week results of all of our each of our individual book distribution results were going to be sent, or were being sent, to Srila Prabhupada. Okay, our temple did this devotee did this many this week, this many books, and like that. It was being sent. So of course I was always in last place in the competition. Easy to be in last place, even though I was out there trying to do it. But I was always in last place, and I was feeling upset because anyone can be in last place. And what we were preaching was, okay, the results are being sent to Srila Prabhupada, and if you want to please Srila Prabhupada, you can only do it by selling his books, and the more books you sell, the more pleased he is with you. That was basically the preaching. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't sell the books nicely. So I was always in the end, the last place. So I was starting to think, when I was feeling upset in a way, I was thinking I'm becoming envious of the devotees. And that was my perception. But I explained the whole situation to Srila Prabhupada, and he said first of all that my feeling was not envy. He said you should see that feeling as being an indirect appreciation of the service being done by the other devotees. But I wasn't trying to stop anyone, or he said, Srila Prabhupada said, the envy in the material world, envy means that if you don't like something or someone, if you're envious of them, you try to do something to stop them, if they're making progress in whatever, making progress in business, making progress in anything in their life, and you think, I am envious of them. You're thinking, how can I stop them, prevent them from having what they have, or accomplishing what they're accomplishing? That was the Srila Prabhupada said that's envy, and that's in the material world. But Srila Prabhupada said that for the devotee, a devotee is not envious. A devotee is thinking these other devotees, and Srila Prabhupada said we should think like this anyway. All the other devotees, they are doing such nice service for Krishna. So how can I assist them in their service to Krishna? So that's the opposite of the material envy. This is actually the proper way. And Srila Prabhupada said, and if you think like that, then you will advance very quickly in spiritual life. And it goes right along with what Srila Prabhupada already said. Your love for me will be tested by how well you cooperate with each other in carrying on this mission. So that means working together cooperatively, means not envy. You don't stop, you don't criticize, materially criticize devotees, you don't try to stop them from serving Krishna, or serving Srila Prabhupada. So the mood is to, Srila Prabhupada said, is to work together, assist those who can do something better than you, and in that way cooperate and carrying on the Krishna consciousness mission. This is what Srila Prabhupada was teaching. And then I also had written, that letter that I didn't feel like I could do so much in that capacity in book distribution. So Srila Prabhupada said actually Krishna, he does not care so much how much we give, but he cares about how much we says how much we keep back for ourselves. Srila Prabhupada's words. He doesn't care how much we give, but he cares how much we keep back for ourselves. And then he said that means we should serve Krishna the best we can. So if we have, someone might have big, they're just a natural. I know one devotee, he became very good book distributor, but he was actually selling. He had a material talent, or there's a job he had before they go that he was selling encyclopedias or something. He had a tendency to it in that way. So it became easier for him. And others can do other things. Others to do deity worship and stay doing it. Not everyone can continue doing that service. So, but whatever we can do, we do it the best way we can, and Krishna sees as okay, you have this capacity, you do this, but you do it, you do the best you can do it, and Krishna sees what Krishna sees is what we can do that we're not willing to use in His service. That's the essence. To the degree that we can do something great, then we do it. You see, some devotees in the movement they're leaders. They have thousands of disciples and big projects going on and so many things going on. And there are others who are, have other kinds of services, which are also essential parts of the Krishna consciousness movement. So whatever our ability is, we do that, we use that in Krishna's service to the greatest extent that we are capable of. And we avoid the envious tendency by seeing how we can work together in a cooperative way to carry on the Krishna consciousness mission. And Srila said, if you do like that, then you will advance quickly on the spiritual path. Right? Anyway, those are a few points on this verse and purport. Any questions, comments? Yes. What does it say? I didn't. Where? This is a purport? Okay, I'm not. Oh, I see. As explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, when one is not envious even of his enemy, he does not expect honor from anyone, but instead desires all well-being, even for his enemy. He is understood to be on the Paramahansa. Is that what it is? Yes, that's very, 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 very advanced position. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who had been in a big, he was a high court judge, a magistrate in his occupation when he was say employed. And of course, being a judge, being in a high position, then you're not going to please everyone, because you judge some people this way and you judge some people that way according to their activities. So he was, and for maybe other reasons, there were people who were considered themselves like they considered themselves his enemy. But when he retired, then he actually personally went around collecting donations for to build a yoga thing, yes, for Lord Chaitanya, yes. So he went. So he was even going to the homes of those who considered themselves his enemies, going to everyone for the purpose of engaging them in that particular service. This is this is definitely a level of, this is Paramahansa. Paramahansa means topmost swan-like devotee. So he takes the essence of everything, and he doesn't consider anyone else to be his enemy. He considers he actually considers himself to be in a very low position, Paramahansa, and he sees everyone else as actually serving Krishna. It's hard to imagine, but this is actually the level of a pure devotee. So sometimes the pure devotees, the Paramahansa devotees like Srila Prabhupada, for preaching, you can't be a you cannot act on the Paramahansa platform and actually effectively preach, because you're considering everyone else is already engaged in devotional service, everyone else is happy, everyone else is doing what they're supposed to be doing, and I'm the one who's down. So it's you can't. That's Paramahansa mentality. But for the purpose of preaching, the Paramahansa, he's still Paramahansa, but he has to act on what we would call the second class platform. He's first class, but he's acting on the second class platform because he has to think this person is an atheist, this person is innocent, this person is trying to become a devotee, or is a devotee, like that. He has to make that distinction for the purpose of preaching, even though internally he's on a much higher level. Srila Prabhupada just remained acting on the Paramahansa platform. Externally, if he was acting on the Paramahansa platform, then how could he preach? And if he didn't preach, then we wouldn't be here talking about it right now, right? So this is a Paramahansa mentality, and it's said that even if one becomes such a devotee, and as long as we're in the material world, such a devotee does not say that I'm already pure and I'm high and everyone else is low. He doesn't think like that. I'm already Krishna conscious, so I don't need to chant, I don't need to do anything. No, Prabhupada says even you come to the topmost platform, for the example for others. You need to, in our case, we say keep chanting your rounds, keep following the regular principles, keep acting as someone would if they were trying to become Krishna conscious. You have to act on that platform at least as an instruction for others. So, and Srila Prabhupada did that because he told us to chant at least 16 rounds. He also chanted 16 rounds. He would chant. And usually after his breakfast, he would chant. He was writing books all morning, giving class in the morning, and he had time that he was chanting as an example for us. Otherwise, he didn't need to, chant japa. He was already realizing Krishna, but as an example for us, he did, and so on. Did I touch the point? Anyone else? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, basically, we pretty much understand that Krishna is happy or not happy by in our service if we are doing that service which Krishna is given. So that's and if we but I think the point I was making was for the really advanced pure devotees, their only consideration is Krishna happy with does Krishna want me to? Does like Krishna want me to come to the material world? We are in the spiritual world. Does Krishna want me to come to the material world? I don't really want to go there, but Krishna wants me to go there, so therefore I'm happy that Krishna. I'm happy to do this because this is what Krishna wants. Like the Jai and Vijay, the gatekeepers of the spiritual world. Krishna, when he wants to fight, he doesn't fight with just anyone, and he's not going to fight and kill really kill his pure devotees. Of course, he will kill them, but he doesn't actually fight with the real demons. He'll send his devotees to act as demons, and he'll enjoy it fighting, and they're fighting back. But internally, those demons are actually they're actually remembering. They're remembering. They understand who they are ultimately, but they're acting in that capacity to fight with Krishna, or in his different incarnations. Even as mentioned in somewhere in the chapters about Hiranyakashipu. I don't remember exactly the verse of the purport. But Srila Prabhupada mentions that Hiranyakashipu was, of course, he was a big demon, but internally he was actually remembering Krishna. He was actually chanting. It's in there. I read. I just can't remember exactly where it was. So he's there putting on a big show to fight. And the Lord, in this case, Lord Nrsingadev, came to ultimately kill him. But this was all part of the pastime. So this is on the level of the topmost pure devotees. And for us, sometimes we may not feel like doing some particular service. Some services are more sweet, some are, like that. We may not feel like it, but but we know that it needs to be done. So we go on. We perform we perform our devotional service, and that'll please Krishna. And then by doing that, even though it may not have seemed something that was pleasing, somehow or other Krishna, he reciprocates, and from within the heart, and we start feeling happy. I'll give you a personal example. When I was also back in Gainesville, good training there for the year that I was there. One time I was we had like 16 devotees in the temple at that time. And we were, so we had our normal programs. So we had, during Arti, during the Kirtan, during one Arti, we were chanting, everyone singing. And of course, we were all much younger then, 20s, early 20s. But everyone else is chanting and jumping up and down, dancing, And at that particular time, I was just kind of like, I wasn't moving. So later on, temple president, that was Sridhar Maharaj at that time. So later on, he said, "Why are you not chanting? Or why were you not?" I was chanting, but he said, "Why were you not dancing?" He said, "Oh, everyone else is having so much devotion for Krishna, and I'm just waiting for the devotion, waiting for it to come, and then I'll dance." He says, "No, you got it all wrong." That's what he said. You got it all wrong. We are Krishna's servants. Krishna's not our servant. So first we act enthusiastically and do the service, and then Krishna will reciprocate and give us a feeling. So I'm supposed to jump and dance and everything because that's what we do, and then Krishna will give the feeling. But I was waiting for the feeling to come and say, okay, when I feel it, then I'll do it. But that was kind of backwards. So, anyone else? Okay, so then we'll end for today. Srimad-bhagavatam Class will continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.